Alright, in this video we're going to be going over the compare and contrast graphic organizer for the story Volcanoes, and we're going to be comparing and contrasting a few things. So first we're going to compare and contrast Volcano Legends from the Romans and from Early Hawaiians. Okay, so both of these legends of volcanoes, let me make this a little bit bigger, both of these legends center around a god of fire. Okay, now how are they different? Well, the Romans, for example, Vulcan was their god, and he worked at a hot forge, and that's what created the eruptions and the volcanoes. Okay, oh whoops, that should be a U. Okay, well, and that should be an A. Switched it. And then the early Hawaiians, they had, their god was Pele, and he burst forth from her mountain home, and that's what caused eruptions. Okay, so again, two different legends, both center around a god of fire. The Romans had Vulcan and the Hawaiians had Pele. Okay, let's go now to where the section 501, page 501, where they talked about Mount St. Helens eruption. So we're talking about kind of before and after the eruption. So before and after the eruption in both situations, so in the past and still today, Mount St. Helens is still a large mountain. Okay, it was before the eruption and it still is today. Okay, before the eruption though, the top was peaked. It had a peak at the top, so the volcano was actually closed in. And after the eruption, how it's changed, how it's different now, is after the eruption, the top was replaced because it was blown off by a huge volcanic crater. So it's still a large mountain. Before it had a peaked top, and after the volcanic eruption, it now has a huge volcanic crater. Okay, continuing, Hawaiian volcanoes and Mount St. Helens. So how are they alike? Well, both volcanoes spout lava. They both are volcanoes, of course. The Hawaiian volcanoes are different, though. They are not found on the edge of a plate. They're at what we call a hot spot. So then, of course, the Surtsey, which they mention in the text, the Surtsey and Mount St. Helens throw out rocks and ash. Hawaiian volcanoes rarely do, though. So they're not as explosive. Mount St. Helens was an explosive eruption. The Hawaiian volcanoes are more of a flowing, slow flow of a lava. But both volcanoes do emit lava. All right, Hawaiian lava. There are a couple different types of Hawaiian lava. Both types, though, forms volcanic rocks. So both types of Hawaiian lava forms volcanic rocks. One of the types of Hawaiian lava, though, as it hardens into a rough tangle of sharp rocks. Whoops, got a couple errors there. Let's fix those. As it hardens, it forms into a rough tangle of sharp rocks. The other type of Hawaiian lava that was discussed in the text had that funny name, Pahohoi. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it forms a smooth, billowy surface. Okay, so it's nice and smooth. It looks like water flowing, like the actual lava flowing, and it just hardens that way. So it's nice and smooth. All right, you're going to use this compare and contrast graphic organizer to help you with some of the reading comprehension questions. So you may be coming back to this as a resource. Okay. All right, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.